Let's talk about something that can feel, well, a little intimidating: philosophy. But what if I told you it's not really about ancient guys with long beards? What if it's something you're already doing every single day and you don't even know it?
Let's just start with this idea. What if the biggest, most profound questions we have about life, the universe, all of it, weren't locked away in some dusty old book, but were actually hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us in the most ordinary moments of our day? Let's take a look. Okay, so let's start with something you might even be holding in your hand right now: a simple cup of coffee. Seems pretty ordinary, doesn't it? But if we just look a little closer, this one drink can unlock the entire world of philosophy. First off, a super basic question. How do you actually know this is coffee and not, say, some really convincing tea? You might say, well, I can see it, I can smell it, but are your senses always 100% reliable? This question right here about what it really means to know something, that's our first doorway. And just like that, with that one simple question, you've stepped right into the world of epistemology. It's just the formal name for the study of knowledge itself. So anytime you find yourself wondering, how can I be sure this is true? Yep, you're tapping into one of philosophy's biggest pursuits. Okay, but let's go a little deeper. Beyond what we can know about the coffee, what is it really? Fundamentally, is it just a bunch of atoms and molecules bouncing around, or is there something more to its reality than what we can measure in a lab? See? We just shifted from a question about knowledge to a question about reality itself. And that is the realm of metaphysics. It's the branch of philosophy that digs into the fundamental nature of what's real. All of a sudden, the question isn't just what is coffee, it's what does it mean for anything to exist at all? All right, but wait, there's another layer here. This coffee didn't just magically appear, it came from somewhere, right? So was the farmer who grew the beans paid a fair price? Did the workers who picked them have basic rights? Suddenly, this simple drink isn't just a thing. It's connected to this whole global web of people and choices. And asking those questions about fairness and justice, well, that lands us squarely in the fields of ethics and political philosophy. We're asking what's the right thing to do, what does a just society look like? So, believe it or not, your morning coffee is a moral and political object. So, what was the point of all that? Well, those questions we asked about the coffee, they weren't random. They actually form a kind of map, a structured way of thinking that lets us explore not just a simple drink, but the entire human experience. And here's the really cool part. If you followed along with those questions, you were just doing philosophy. It's not about having all the answers. Not at all. It's about learning to ask better, deeper questions about everything that's around you. Okay, so let's zoom out from our coffee cup for a second and look at the whole map. It turns out that these big questions that people have been asking for centuries, they tend to fall into 7 fundamental areas of human wonder. This table basically organizes those paths of inquiry for us. We've already walked down the first 4 just with our coffee cup, right? Metaphysics asks, what is real? Epistemology asks, what can we really know? And ethics and political philosophy tackle what's right and what's just. But the map is even bigger. You've got aesthetics, which explores beauty and art. Then there's the philosophy of mind, which digs into that huge question, who am I? And finally, you get existential philosophy, which confronts the ultimate question of all, what's the meaning of life? Taken together, these 7 paths pretty much cover the entire landscape of human experience. Now, you might have noticed something about all these questions. None of them have a simple one-size-fits-all answer. And you know what? That's not a bug. It's the entire feature of philosophy. The real value isn't in finding some final, definitive answer and just closing the book. No way. The real power is in the process itself, the act of questioning, of debating, and of constantly refining our understanding. It's a living, breathing conversation that has been going on for thousands of years. And that is exactly why philosophy never gets old. Every generation, facing its own unique challenges, whether that's the rise of AI or new questions about social justice, has to take up these fundamental questions and find its own way of answering them. Which brings us to what is maybe the most important point of this whole thing. This map doesn't belong to famous thinkers in some ivory tower. It belongs to you. Think about it. Every time you question a news story you see online, you're being an epistemologist. When you wrestle with a really difficult choice, trying to do the right thing, you're being an ethicist. When a piece of music or a painting just moves you, you're an aesthetician. You've been a philosopher your entire life. So, now that you have this map of wonder, the only real question left is, what part of your own life will you choose to examine more deeply? What will you ask first?